Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. And I just wanted to show you something. It's night right now. Check this out. Look at the way that Altum looks. Is this not a beautiful thing? Like, you're out in the woods, you're, chopping down trees or whatever, and you can just kind of see in the distance this glowing thing, this wall. And as you get closer... Oh, hi, skeleton. Deflecting my arrows? Oh, okay, we can play this game. Sorry, chicken. Die, skeleton. Stupid thing. I think I killed the chicken. Anyway, yeah, just the way this looks. I almost wish, though, that this gate wasn't centered on the town hall. But I think it's okay. I think it's fine. Ultimately, yeah, it's fine. What I want to do in today's episode, though, I want this actually to be the last episode in Altum, I think. Or at least, well, I shouldn't say the last. I should say the last for a while. I want to finish up a couple things here, and then I want to move out to a new area, starting in the next episode, and start a new village. Because, I mean, this was never really intended... Altum, I should say, was never really intended to be a place where we were going to hang out for super long. This was just going to be a place that I kind of wanted to start out, build up a little bit, really kind of get situated, get some, get geared up and get my food, so, basically just get into the game and get to the point where I can say, okay, I am now ready to build. Also, I've been gathering ender pearls because I'm hoping, I want to get to the end and I want to kill, the ender dragon ASAP because I want an ender, so I have a extremely good source of experience for mending books, or for mending, I should say, and a good source of ender pearls for getting around as well, and an elytra. It would be really nice to have an elytra. But I've been out doing some resource gathering. I've got some spruce, I got some leaves, and some things like that. We're going to need some of that in today's episode. And as much as I hate to use all of my bone meal, or all of my bones for bone meal, since we can use it for bone blocks, it will be fine. We'll use it anyway. And the nice thing is that the bone blocks are made of bone meal, not bones. So any bone meal that I don't use, I can use elsewhere. So I think it'll be fine. But... we still have some areas we need to work some things out for. We've got to do something with this space right here. And we have to do something with this space right here. And what I'm thinking is over here, it would be kind of cool to actually have like maybe a little water feature, like a little waterfall stream type thing, to do something kind of natural right here. And then over there, we'll maybe put another building. So I'm thinking the water is going to kind of come out right about here or so. And it will kind of come down, and I don't want this to be too straight. I want this, because if it's too straight, it's not going to look good. So we'll go like that. Maybe here it'll kind of pour out a little bit. And then it's ultimately going to flow down until it hits a pond, I think. And the pond will be like right about here or so. And we'll kind of bring it around like that. So this whole little section right here will basically be a pond. And that actually looks pretty good for shape as well. So we'll have this little waterfall that will kind of come out of here and flow down until it hits the pond. I also want to get rid of a lot of this stone, not all of it, but I want to turn this part at least to grass, because I think that'll look better. And we'll do that. We can have the stone kind of rising up from this, but I don't really think the stone on the ground looks good. I think it would look much better if this was all grass blocks. And of course, I'm a little bit short on grass, but that's okay. We need to go in there anyway to kind of grab some things. So let's see. We need grass. And then I'm thinking underneath in the, I guess you'd call it the riverbed, we're going to do a combination of gravel and cobblestone. We'll do that kind of down here. And I think that'll look good. So let's see here. Right here, this is all going to be the gravel and cobblestone, like I said. This will also be gravel and cobblestone. I should probably put that in now, just so I know it's there. And then here, kind of the same deal. And we're just kind of mixing these in. Those I think I want both to be cobble. We'll maybe put cobble there as well. How's that look? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. And then this all needs to get torn up. Like so. Looks good. And let's just get the bow. No, not a good time, bow. We'll maybe do something like this. Yeah, that looks good. And then the question that I don't know the answer to is how will the water flow? So if I put a water bucket here, okay, so it's going to flow like that, which is fine. That's perfectly okay. It just means that I need to fill this little bit in. So it kind of flows down into this little creek, which I quite like. I think that looks really good. Okay, now I need more water, and I need to fill all of that in. So let me get to work on that, guys. I'll come back to you in just a sec. All right, guys, I am back. So that's all taken care of and finished. Now, over here, what I want to do, getting up over here, getting up to the top of the wall, is kind of a pain. Over here and over here. Right here, it's not too bad, but essentially, I want to get a staircase. I want to get a staircase in here. I want to get a way up to the top of the wall without having to go all the way around. So let's kind of work that out a little bit. Let's see if we can get ourselves a little bit of a staircase going here. And I think right here, we're going to put a staircase right about here. Because I think this seems like the obvious place to put it. So let's grab... Why do I never have a crafting bench on me? Ever? Just, anyway. I digress. Okay. So what we're going to do is essentially we are going to bring this down. And it will work its way up over here. And actually, that's going to go away. And this will be... Right? Is that... Right? Yeah. I'm trying to remember how I did this with all the other staircases in the village. But this is the correct design. Okay, there we go. So you go away. And then... That looks good, I think. I could almost go for that being steeper, though. I think I'm actually going to change this one a little bit. So in most of the staircases in the village, the vast majority of them, the staircases themselves are essentially a half slab slope. I think I'm going to change that with this one and make it a much steeper slope like this, and I think that's actually going to be a really good thing. So let's go... And just make a few of these guys. I'm going to hide a torch back here just for spawning reasons. And we'll just do something like that. So it'll be a much less intrusive slope than what we've kind of become accustomed to. How's that feel? That still feels good. That still has a good feel to it. Okay. And then here, this will come up there like so. And this will be our stairway. Yeah. All right, excellent. We just got to put the stairs in and drop a torch right there. And that should be good. Okay, one stairway down, and now I just got to work on another one. That way we have an easy way to get up here, as I said. That was kind of the whole point. All right, guys, I am back, and I think I've got the other staircase worked out. I decided to put it right over here. And there's still some pathways and stuff like that in the village that kind of need to be done. But it's not too bad. This area over here, I'm still not entirely sure what I'm going to do with it. We could do maybe some sort of like a barracks or an arm room or something like that. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it for the time being. Or maybe we'll plant some trees here or something like that. Or maybe we'll do a custom tree. That could be kind of cool. I haven't done a custom tree in quite a while. Maybe we'll just do something kind of like a big old custom tree. That's going to take so much wood, though. But that's not necessarily that big of a deal. And I'd want it to kind of hang out up and over here. And, well, you know, we'd tweak little parts of this as we went. So, like, that, and then we can, you know, work a couple of these into the ground. Like so. Actually, I think that would probably look better if we turned them sideways. Like that. Yeah, that definitely looks a bit better. And the goal here is essentially just to create something kind of cool. That looks alright. Okay. And then maybe this kind of comes up and over here. How's that feel? Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So this is kind of the tree. And trees are the trees can be kind of challenging. For me too. I'm no tree master. That's for sure. But I think if we get some slabs and some stairs and some fences and then a bunch of leaves, I bet we can make that tree look pretty good. And that would be kind of a cool little piece. I mean, there's not really any more buildings in this village that we need, especially considering we're about to be leaving. So let me do some work on the tree, guys. I'll come back to you in a sec. All right, guys, I am back. So I've got the stuff I needed to make the tree, and I want to do a little bit of this with you. And then I think if I run into struggles, I'll do the rest off camera. But we're gonna give this a try. We're gonna give this a go and kind of see what happens. So as for details, I think what we'll do is we'll use some slabs kind of around the tree a little bit. And we can also probably work in some fences and things as well. Because trees have branches, you know. We're just kind of trying to randomize it a little bit here. Essentially just kind of creating a shape, which is in some ways much easier said than done. But we do something like that. That looks all right. I think I want that branch to kind of come out that way. There we go. And then, now we need to actually get up there and start placing leaves. And this is where things get a little crazy. So we're going to go with some spruce leaves. And we're just going to kind of spam these around. And I kind of wish I wasn't in survival for this. This would be a lot easier. But that's okay. That would take all the fun out of things if I was in... Why am I suddenly without sound? I'm not. Okay. Just being weird. It's fine. It's alright. And I don't have my shears on me anymore, unfortunately. So that's okay. It's fine. So what we want to do is we want to cover as much of this as we can. And we're just trying to kind of cover up these shapes in a way that doesn't seem completely and totally unnatural. Now, organic builds like this have never really been my strong suit. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see if this turns out okay. Hopefully it will. But if it doesn't, just you have been warned. These types of builds have never really been the type of build that I'm exceptionally good at. There we go. We'll just do a little bit of this. I'm just trying to mix different things in. And we'll kind of bring it down like that. How's that look? It could be worse, right? Could be worse. Maybe a leaf here. Yeah. There we go. Kind of getting leaves in where we can. It's starting to kind of come together. It's a very stocky tree, though. I think maybe what we'll do, I think I want to kind of deal with that a little bit. I think it's a little bit too fat near the bottom. So we're going to try and kind of thin it up a little bit. So let's do maybe some of this kind of stuff. So it's still going to be kind of a fat tree, but it's just not going to be as fat. And we can kind of turn some of these in different ways. Yeah, that's a bit better. That's a bit better. And I like the fact that this kind of hangs down a little bit. And then the other thing we could maybe do, let's just try this out. We could mix up some of the leaves. Just replace some of the spruce with like oak leaves in this case. The colors in this particular biome are almost the same, but there's a little bit of a texture difference, and I think it looks pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I've seen worse custom trees, right? It's not my finest work. Let's just put it that way. But you know what? It's okay. It's all right. We'll get better we'll get better at custom trees as we go throughout the series, I think. This is kind of an experiment more than anything else. There we go. It's not terrible. It works. It's something. Now, moving on. We're going to bone meal a lot of this. area around town because I think it really kind of helps. I don't want to go super crazy with flowers. We want some flowers probably kind of throughout the village, but we don't want it to appear like lazy. We don't want it to look like I just went around and bone mealed everything. Let's put it that way. Yes, I know I did, and I know that yes, that's what I'm doing, is I'm just running around and bone mealing the stuff. But I don't want it to look like that, if that makes any sense. Back here we could maybe have some flowers, but I'll tear them out for now, and we can put them back later if we want. All right, so you get that. It's all kind of overgrown, which I like. I think that's a good thing. We'll take some of these and make them a bit higher, just to give us a little height difference as you're walking around the village. Not a bad look. Not a bad look. Then we'll do some of that over here and over here. That's already pretty much bone mealed anyway. We'll maybe do a couple of these as a little bit higher. Oh, this is our pathway, though, right here, that goes up. So maybe we'll do that, and maybe we'll path block this. You know what I'm saying? So we'll just be a little lazy with the path there and just make it a path block that kind of connects over, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. There we go. Then we'll bone meal some of this, and some of this, and so on and so forth. I'm going to bone meal the village, guys. I'll come back to you in a minute. Alright, guys, I'm back. Village is bone mealed, and looking good if I do say so myself. I think I'd also kind of like to get some foliage growing in here. Make it appear a little bit overgrown. And I think we can do some of that kind of here along this wall that isn't otherwise being used for anything because it's so steep. So there's not really a huge amount of, we can't really build a whole lot of different stuff on it. I mean, I'm sure we could work something out if we really wanted to. But I think it's also a great spot for us to add just some overgrowth. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of bring down some vines and stuff like that. Because I think that creates kind of a cool effect. You know what I mean? You're kind of coming down here and you can see there's all these vines and foliage and leaves and things like that growing right there, which is pretty cool. We could maybe do something kind of similar up in here. Just kind of bring some of that foliage down as well. Yeah, that adds a lot. That adds so much. It's amazing what just a little bit of vegetation can add. This place is really starting to come together. Okay, so I think the next thing that we need to work out is some of the lighting. And we've already kind of got this spruce fence tiki torch thing going, and I think I'm just going to stick with that. So I'm going to get some tiki torches around here to make sure the village is lit up, and I'll come back in a sec. Alright guys, I am back. So we've got these tiki torches kind of all around the whole village. Basically has the entire place lit up. It's not a great look, but the place is mob safe, and that's the important thing. And it looks better than having torches just sitting on the ground. So I may come back at some point and change that later to more targeted lighting, shall we say, like along the paths and stuff like that, more for atmosphere. But for now, I think this will do. And at this point, we've got a lot of this done. I mean, there's not really a whole lot more for us to do. We could maybe work a few more little, kind of foliage spots in like this. Just kind of here and there. So you come up the path and you can see some of these leaves kind of sticking out here and there, stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm pretty much good. I think we've done what we set out to do. Ooh, actually, right here, that's a good spot. Just because that adds to the tower and really kind of makes that feel a bit more interesting. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Can maybe do some bushes there. Yeah. All in all, it's not too shabby. Ooh, one other thing we could maybe do. Let's just get some bushes in here. Just a couple. Not a lot. And maybe a couple over here as well. Just kind of grow that down. But one thing that I almost forgot to add is here. I'd actually like to have a little bit of sugarcane next to that pond. Just a tiny bit. Oh, come on now. Get up there. There we go. And it should grow essentially on its own. Actually, let's grab a little bit of string. I should have some string. I don't know how much string I have, but I should have some. And that way we can put string on top and make sure that it doesn't grow any taller than we want it to. Because we want to kind of control the heights here. Oh, why do I have so much trouble jumping up that thing? It's ridiculous. So there, we'll put string on top. And that way this thing can't grow any more than we want it to. I think I just want that one to be one tall. Same with this guy. And then maybe here, we'll make that one too tall. How's that feel? As you come down. Yeah, just a little bit of sugarcane. Not a lot. Just a little bit. And I think that's good. Maybe here, we'll even put a 3 tall. Yeah, that's not bad. Ooh, and we have water lilies too, or lily pads. I totally forgot about that. Let's do that real quick too. Before I forget, we've got a billion of them from all the fishing we did. So, might as well use them. Because there's no point in just letting them sit there when we have a perfect opportunity like this one to actually make use of them. So, you go here. Let me just do some inventory management a little bit. That looks good. And we'll just put a couple lily pads into that pond. Right down here. Not a whole lot, just a couple. Maybe one more right here. Yep, that feels good to me. And there we have it. That is the Kingdom of Altum. The first of many. We'll probably come back here someday, and we'll clean some stuff up, and we'll change a couple things, and tweak a couple things, and overhaul some stuff. But for the time being, I'm extremely happy with the way that it feels and the way that it looks. The interior of that inside of that tower isn't completed, but it works. The downstairs is done, and the first floor is done, or the second floor is done, so it's not exactly untouched either. And I'm still learning interiors anyway. We've got our colors. We need to come up with a banner, which we'll put here eventually, once I get some more wool. The next area we work on, I think, is going to be kind of the agricultural area, where they grow, where they raise livestock, because, it would be nice to have a steady supply of sheep and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's going to be the next area that we work on. And it's going to be relatively close. It's not going to be super far away from... one thing I want to do here is I want to keep all of the kingdoms relatively close to each other, within walking distance in the overworld. Not necessarily a short walk, but not super, super far away. And close enough that they can be connected up with roads. and it can just be done within, a couple minutes on horseback. That's kind of the goal. But here we have it, guys, the Kingdom of Altum. And I am out of time for this episode. So, my friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.